I think I fixed it. What is up, everybody? It is your boy BTG Inferno, and we're coming at you with a brand new episode of Broken Controllers. This is Season 3, Episode 3. I'm so sorry for the technical issues here. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my mic and make sure y'all can hear me while my good co-host here, Chubbs, introduces himself. What's up, Chubbs?
You know, sometimes that stuff happens. I'm just glad that it wasn't anything super complicated.
Yeah, well, I mean, now you're echoing, so it seems to me that this is working properly. So, yeah, they can hear me. All right, we're good. So, anyway, so yeah, we are talking about a couple different things this week, guys. We are talking about Microsoft's family plan. They are actually rolling it out and talking about that now. And we are also going over Ragnarok's gameplay, and then Nintendo has a not-so-confirmed Direct coming around the corner. So within maybe even the next week. So we'll see exactly how that goes. Real quick, just a little bit of housekeeping. Be sure to follow our YouTube channel at youtube.com. If you search BTG Inferno, that will be where the videos are going from here on forward as far as VODs from Twitch. And I'll actually be doing some editing tonight and throwing a video up there. Patreon I'm still working on, obviously. And you can always follow us on twitch.com/Broken Controllers. And you can follow the Broken Controllers Facebook page as well. So we also have a Twitter as well. So we're kind of trying to get everywhere, guys. So be sure to follow us where you can, get the news where you can. So aside from that, let's just jump right into it. Chubbs, what have you been playing this past week?
So what I've been playing this week is first one is Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. This game is not the first in the series that I have played. Oddly enough, I actually, for whatever reason, started out only playing on this game. And so what I really love about this game is there is so much customization that you can do inside this as far as like the weapon upgrades. Anytime that you kill your enemies, you get like a certain amount of experience, and you can upgrade them to a certain level. And every time you level them up, they get more powerful, and they can hold more ammo.
That's nice. that's a good upgrade.
There's some really goofy ones the later on that you get in the game, but what's really awesome about this is once you level them up to a certain point, you can unlock what's called a quantum level of these weapons. And if I remember correctly, I believe they either have unlimited ammo or just a very large amount of ammo.
Right.
So this game kind of is... I was very confused, of course, with this storyline of what exactly happened, but basically what happens in the beginning is you have this Captain Cork that you're trying to get back because he ends up going AWOL and just losing his memory. And so you have to capture him back, and you're just going on missions to try to get things to jog his memory. And there's lots of little mini games that you can play inside of there as well. So there's tons of stuff that you can do in this game. This game is huge for such a little game.
It looks really good. Let me go ahead and pull up some gameplay real quick here. I actually, I don't have any gameplay here because I actually closed all my windows out here. So sorry about that, guys. So pulling that up right now. Go ahead, keep talking.
What I really love about these games is they have some really wacky weapons that you can get. So when you first unlock, you get like a rocket launcher, you get like a force blaster, and then like a machine gun type of gun. But then you get like this chicken gun that you'll suck up every single enemy, and it turns them into a chicken.
All right.
And they end up up being destroyed, but you don't get any ammo for it or anything like that. But what you do get to do is you get to blast them out, and you can hit other enemies. So,
Okay.
of course, by the time they got to the third in the series, this game is incredibly polished, so it looks great. It plays really well.
Yeah, how are the
So,
controls actually?
well, I actually have the PS3 version of this game, so it's the HD remake or remaster or whatever you want to call it. So the controls are very responsive. It uses the analog control, and so you're using things. It kind of reminds me of almost like a Grand Theft Auto kind of a style of playing when it comes to shooting. So you have like something where you hold like a button to pull up a different wheel of weapons to choose from. I believe you can get up to like I think 20 different guns. And my favorite one so far has been actually the fire whip
Okay.
because it has a wide range of attack, but the ammo for it is pretty expensive because you have to purchase all of your ammo by getting
Mm,
bolts.
right, right. Which of course
So
is always a game of like resource management, right?
yeah, it's not terrible. You can always, of course, go back and grind and get pretty much endless amounts of bolts. They have like areas where they have double of the bolts. And what's really cool is if you get far enough in the game, you can actually start purchasing cheats for the game. So you can have like new skins. You have different colored weapons, like infinite jump, infinite health. So it's pretty intense, and it really rewards you for actually like playing the game. Because this is at a time where cheats were still fun to get if you actually worked for them instead of a code.
Right, right.
So
Gee,
that's,
you guys gotta remember, like game winners was like a thing back in the day.
yeah,
Like that was basically like your for all intents and purposes your cheat site, right?
yeah,
Anyway.
exactly. So I definitely would recommend playing this game if you guys haven't played any of them. I think you can still get the HD collection. In fact, I think it might be out on PlayStation Plus. But definitely recommend playing that game. Um, so the next one that I played was Gundam Dynasty Warriors 3. I don't know if you've ever
Yeah.
played any Dynasty Warrior game, but this is the pinnacle of hack and slash gameplay. You are just
Yeah.
going around
Dynasty Warrior
destroying.
Dynasty Warriors is always interesting to me. For more than one reason, but go ahead. Sorry, I'm interrupting. My bad.
Oh, you're good, man. It's definitely one of my favorite games so far. It's just been very slow paced at getting the game going.
Right,
About
right.
18 like tutorial missions in order to get just to the major gameplay because they force you to play these missions, and if you're not strong enough to play through these missions, you do need to go and grind, and it's probably going to take at least 60 hours to probably get through a good chunk of it, and I've only played about 20, so
Right.
I've definitely got a long ways to go before I'm anywhere close to getting this. I think there's probably over 300 different Gundams that you can unlock.
Wait, how much? Did you say 3,800?
No, 300.
Oh, I thought you said 3,800. I was like, that's way too much. I don't have time for that.
No. But what's cool is you can unlock different pilot licenses, so you can each character has its own special move that it does, but you can have these special moves be transferred to other Gundams,
Okay.
and so you can have different teams that do different special moves with you, and it makes it a lot easier to play once you have all of those like extras unlocked and stuff. You definitely need to get your health up because you are not going to last very long if you play any of
Right.
these levels. they really can gang up on you if you don't strategically play. If you just go in there, try and hack and slash, you will you get your ass handed to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to be, you got to go in, make sure that if your team is strong enough and they can help you, they can carry on for themselves instead of you having to go back and killing everything. They can stand for themselves. So
Right.
if you definitely I definitely would recommend playing this game if you are a Gundam fan because this has, I'm pretty sure, almost every single Gundam that you can think of. It's got Gundam Wing, Gundam Fighter, Gundam Double O, Gundam Double Z, all kinds of them. Ones that I've never even seen. I'm pretty
I have
sure
a
there's Gundam Seed Dynasty.
I have a friend that would really like this game. He's probably already played it, but yeah. Dynasty Warriors, man. These games are interesting because they are, by the way, I confirmed it. They are called Muso games.
Muso.
Um,
Okay. I've just
so
never heard that term before.
it just basically is the Japanese meaning for like overpowered characters, right, or powerful characters, right?
Oh
So like it's you versus like a just an onslaught of enemies generally, right? But the
it's
reason these games are
ridiculous.
so interesting to me is because surface level they don't look like much. You know, a lot of people think, oh, hit A, get through the horde of enemies. Like, yeah, at the surface maybe, but like these games have combos in them. They have super moves. They have bosses. They have all kinds of different stuff. Like, it's not just hit A.
Yep.
There's more to it for
Exactly.
sure.
Yep. If you can get good combos going, you get boosts. You get extra time in this boost mode. You have special attacks and stuff. So I definitely loved playing this game. I played it a
Yeah, it
ton
looks
back in the
good.
day. Um, so I haven't been paying much attention to the story just because it really hasn't made a whole lot of sense of why they're there. They just all of a sudden found out that they're all being joined in the same area. They're like, wow, I can't believe you're here. I'm going to fight you. That kind of thing. It's not
Yeah.
anything deep.
So,
So,
yeah, yeah, that's funny. Anyway.
so, so the third game that I played this week was Super Mario World.
Oh man, timeless classic. You want to talk about classic?
Oh yeah, dude. I have played this game time and time and time again. I'm not great at it, but my God, I cannot help myself because um, I can never seem to get past like the second or third world before I start having trouble. But
See, I'm really good at these games, dude. I'm not even exaggerating when I tell you, I spent probably 300 or 400 hours just playing this game. Like,
yeah,
if there is a game that I know how to beat, it is this game. Like, for sure.
yeah. I'm where I got to is I just got past the ghost level. That level in particular, when I was a kid, was so incredibly difficult for me because I was impatient as a kid, as most are, that I did not want to take the time to try to get better at it. I just kept basically
Right.
running straight into the wall. Yeah, so with the Super Mario Advanced Game Boy port, I remember I had a Game Boy Advance SP, and I was always playing that game, even though I wasn't good at it. I was always playing on it.
Right.
So, um, so the final game that I had played was Super Mario 64, yet another classic game.
Yeah.
Um, this game, gosh, I remember playing absolutely so much whenever I would go over to my grandma's. I would play this game for probably pretty much most of the day if they let me. pretty much
Right.
just go over to grandma's and play my Nintendo 64. And boy, was I not good at figuring out what to do, because I just love just going around and flying and trying to get some of the stars, but I didn't actually like try to get the stars until much, much later. And
Right. As one does.
so, of course, I ended up starting over again because, that's what pretty much everyone does. They just do a fresh start of Super Mario 64 every now and then.
Right.
And so, I just I've only made it toward the first level, of course, with the bomb field, and then let's see, I think I got to the castle level, and I'm finishing that up. I'm kind of just doing like a full playthrough because I have never actually fully beaten Super Mario 64. I've only ever played up to like just the 70 limit, and that's it. Because some of those
Right.
stars get
Yeah.
very, very challenging to play.
Yeah, they're no joke, dude. Like they
Yeah,
did the
they're
like.
super hard.
This was still an era where games were like uncomfortably difficult to beat. Like,
Yeah,
they were tough.
it was insane. I remember the most difficult levels that I had were the gas level, where you had to be like the metal Mario.
Right.
That one was really difficult because I could not figure out in the maze where to go to get the stupid star. And then I think the other challenging level was the Hidden Sands field, the level where you have to go inside of the pyramid.
Yeah,
Which,
that's tough too. Sheesh.
that one was really hard.
I can't. It's surprising to me, dude. I forgot how many levels there were in this game.
Yeah, there's a lot. I think my favorite level is probably the level where you're giant and everything's small.
Yeah.
I just find it to be really funny.
Right.
So, yeah, I plan on trying to fully 100% beat this game because I never did as a kid, and my God, I'd love to actually do it.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
But yeah, that's about all I've been playing really this week. What about you, man?
So let me pull up OBS here. Get back to our our handy dandy screen. So first, I'll start with Skyrim, I guess. Everybody knows that I've been playing Skyrim these last couple of weeks. I've never actually beat Skyrim. Um, so now I'm to the point where I'm actually playing through it again, and I'm not really making a huge amount of progress. Just mainly because the main story is good. Skyrim's one of those games where if I'm gonna play that game, I'm gonna go do the things that I want to do, right?
Yeah.
So, and this actually looks like the original version is what this looks like. I'm actually playing the anniversary edition, so like I have access to mods and all kinds of stuff, but I'm not using them, of course. But anyway, I just got to. I'm going up to the Greybeards to High Hrothgar to talk to the Greybeards, and basically the story continues from there. I forgot how good this game is. Like Skyrim's a lot of fun, man, and like I'm not one for typically going back to play an old game. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy a good retro game every once in a while. That's why we had that retro idea. But like as far as like old school games like Skyrim and stuff like that go, like I'm not a huge fan of going back to games like this. So if a game's got me like this, like what, 11 years later, almost 12 years later, like then you know it's real good. Like
Right.
this game is good. And it's surprising to me that it's 11 years old and it still looks this damn good. You know, like this is good. So if you're involved in video games and you haven't played Skyrim, I don't know how you haven't, but maybe go play it. Like, it's good. I think at this point you know what Skyrim is. I think you know what you're getting yourself into, more or less. So the next game that I played was Kingdom Hearts 3. I actually played more of the Remind secret episode. I'm not going to give anything away here. Cody, go beat that game. Please go beat that
Yeah.
DLC. We need to do a spoiler cast. We need to talk
Yes.
about the main, like, big bad in that game, that DLC, who is essentially like the Kingdom Hearts equivalent of Lingering Will. Um, I don't want to ruin anything. I don't want to give anything away, dude. Just go beat the game. We'll do like a 30-minute spoiler cast on it. It'll be great. So,
Yeah.
um, you know, I heard a lot of people say, "Oh, Remind is easy," or just Kingdom Hearts 3 in general is easy. Look, if you think Kingdom Hearts 3 is easy, fair enough. But you also have to understand that the Remind DLC was planned from the very beginning to be in the game. So, like, at least play that DLC before you make a judgment, because the data copies on top of the secret boss, like, that's they're it's no joke. Like, they're very tough. I had to get the Ultima weapon, and I had to be level 99 just to be able to hang with these things. So, like, yeah, maybe the initial bosses getting through Kingdom Hearts 3 was a little bit easier than most, but they also didn't have data copies like they do in this one, and I'm telling you, they're tough. It's not easy. So, like, at least play through Remind before you tell me, like, oh, Kingdom Hearts 3 is easy. Because Remind, the DLC that they put out, was initially planned to be in the game anyway, so I I don't know how people hate this game. I don't understand it.
I
And
don't either.
I mean, fair enough, like, you don't like the story because you can't follow it, which I'm telling you right now, if you played all the Kingdom Hearts games, you would not have a problem following the storyline. It's not difficult. It's not a difficult story to follow. I hear all these people and they're like, oh, the Kingdom Hearts game is so convoluted and difficult to follow. It's like, well, go back and play from Birth by Sleep, and then get to Kingdom Hearts 3 like the way you're intended, and tell me it's complicated. Like, I have an ex that played through the games like the way that she was intended to play the games, and she loved them. Like, she followed the story perfect. Like, there was no problem at all. You know what I mean? So, like, anybody that's like, oh, I don't understand the storyline, it's like, well, go play the games the way that you're intended. If you're playing 1, 2, and 3 and you're like, I don't understand what's going on, I don't want to hear about how you don't understand what's going on. Like, because 1, 2, and 3 have nothing to do with the actual, like, story. 1, 2, and 3, the main numbered series of Kingdom Hearts are Sora's adventures. That's literally all they are. Kingdom Hearts is an overarching story. You're going to need to play a lot more than just 1, 2, and 3 to understand. Like,
Yeah. You definitely need to.
yeah, it's not 1, 2, and 3 is just the adventures of Sora. That's all it is. That's literally, if you look at the Kingdom Hearts numbered series, especially like 3D and like Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3, like, Sora was only involved in like 4 new stories involving Kingdom Hearts. So, like, the rest revolved around like Aqua Ven and Terra and Kairi and of course Riku and King Mickey, right? So, like, these games are fantastic. Like, they're great. They're great to play. I've had a fantastic time with this game. Anyway, I'm ranting. Moving on. Um, the third and final game that I played this week that I'm going to talk about is, and I'll be talking about this next week as well, because I'll be playing Tunic along with this, but I am playing Stray. For everybody that doesn't remember, this is the cat game. This is adorable. Like, twitch.com/brokencontrollers. You can actually see exactly what we're looking at right here, guys. There's this little orange kitty, and essentially what he is doing is he is moving. He is, excuse me. He has been separated from his clouder of cats, because that's what they're called when you talk about a group of cats. They're called a clouder. Is separated from his clouder of cats, And it is at the beginning of this is heartbreaking, dude, because I'm gonna tell you right now, like the beginning of this is actually kind of hard to watch because this happens in the first like literally 10 minutes of the game. I'm about 2 hours in right now, but this happens in literally about the first 10 minutes of the game. The cats are jumping across to get to another point, and it comes your cat's turn. It comes to your cat, and it's your turn to jump over the spot. And whenever you jump over that pipe, the pipe breaks, right? And then you're basically wake up in this dump, and this door is open, and your job is to find that little robot guy and make your way out of this cyber city, right? So it's essentially a cyberpunk game, right? So very first things first, this game is very cat-like. When I say cat-like, I know it sounds ridiculous, but I hope it shows something akin to it here in just a second. But the very first thing that happens is like, hey, and then one thing about the story, I should maybe mention this. There's these things called Zerks that are out to eat everything. So you're basically trying to escape this city and escape these bacteria called Zerks. So anyway, this game is very like so like at one point you're on top of a ledge and you like it triangles your interact button, right? So you can walk up and hit triangle, and like you can like bat this thing off the edge. It's actually part of the puzzles. It actually comes in handy with the puzzles a lot because like there's like later on you have to like bat these things off of a shelf, and like these things fall over and you're able to get to the thing that you're looking for, right? So, but these mechanics actually play into the game, dude. The circle button is actually how you nail because I'm playing on the PlayStation 5. Yeah, like you're seeing it right there. Did you just see that? Like how he was kneading the carpet. Like there's stuff like that throughout the entire game. It's just ridiculous like that. It's just so good. And these mechanics, like there's like curtains you have to pull down with your claws and all kinds of stuff. So like these mechanics playing in these games, dude, and they're actually like they actually make sense for the game. Like I'm actually really impressed with this game. This game is adorable, but I will tell you that it is a little light on gameplay. The downside to this game is it's not very action oriented. What you see here is basically what you get. You do have points in the game where you're running from these little Zerks, and these little Zerks are basically like the way you lose in this game. They are a fail state essentially. There are collectibles and other things you can get throughout the city, but like for the most part, like you're just trying to get away from this city. You're just trying to get back to your clouder of cats.
Interesting.
But I will say that the game is very, maybe mechanic light, but it has kept me very entertained. I will say that. I do plan on seeing this game through. I don't think it'll be on my top 10 for Game of the Year, but we will at least talk about it. So, if you get a chance to play Stray, I mean, give it a shot. I've had a good time with it. If you're a person that likes to explore and just kind of like play puzzle, like light, easy puzzle mechanic type games, you know what I mean? Like the puzzles in this are not difficult at all, dude. They are easy. I think the most difficult puzzle maybe took me about 5 minutes to clear, and there is a point in the game where you're actually being chased by these little Zerks, and you have to like find your way around like an area to where they can't get to you. There's actually a few points like that. Like I said, the online game tracker thing that I looked up, that like it told me that the game was about 5.5 hours long. This video sits at about 4 hours, so, and it looks like he's pretty much taking his time doing stuff. So I think I'm pretty close to the end of the game as it sits right now. And like I said, I'll definitely be talking about it for Game of the Year. I still have 3 games that I would really, really like to get through to talk about for Game of the Year. But one of those games is a really big game. and so hopefully I can get through those. But like I said, Stray will likely not be on my game of the year list. It's just really it is good. I'll give it that. So anyway, that's going to do it for what we've been playing, guys. We're actually going to back up away from my camera here. Shit. We're going to go into the news segment here. Chubbs, why don't you start us off with the headline?
All right. So Microsoft confirms new Xbox Game Pass friends and family plans and its pricing.
Can we just take a minute? Can we take a minute to say, well done on Xbox for calling this the friends and family plan? Like, they absolutely know what this is going to be used for. Like, absolutely. I'm going to read a short little tidbit from the article here. This was one by Tom Warren out of The Verge. This is The Verge, right? Yeah, out of The Verge. Says, quote, after a leak revealed Xbox Game Pass Friends and Family branding over the weekend, Microsoft has gone official with its new plan and revealed its pricing in Ireland and Colombia. The new subscription will allow Xbox Game Pass members to share with up to 4 other friends and family members at $21.99 per month in Ireland and $49,900 COP in Colombia. End quote. I don't know what that actually works out to in American, but essentially Ireland is pounds, right? If I'm not mistaken. I don't actually know, but that's the one for Ireland, and then there's the 49,900 COP for Colombia. So essentially, this is saying, hey, you're going to have access to this with you and 4 other people. So that's a subscription you can split 5 ways, right? So if this thing is it's rumored to be $25 in American, then that's $5 a person split 5 ways, right?
Right.
How do you feel about this, Chubbs? I mean, for people like me and you, I mean, I don't really know that we're going to benefit from something like this.
Well, I think that I probably won't. And I think that it does say that they think in the article that it might be around like $25 or something like that. I think it would be really great because what happens is I've heard it from people who are actually like parents and stuff like that. Like, they would actually love it if they all didn't have to have their own separate Game Pass account because they don't want to have just one because their son plays it, they play it, and their
Right.
wife plays it.
Right.
They would prefer to have all of that separate. So I think that's great that they're offering that, and definitely is going to be great for people who maybe want to share their accounts and stuff like that. That if you live under one roof with a lot of people, you can just get a friends plan and have everybody do that instead of you all paying $15 a month. You pay what they think $25 a month for
Right.
something, whatever it's going to be. We don't exactly know yet,
Right.
but I think it would be great to offer something like that because most subscriptions plans these days already have some sort of family plan already.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's my point exactly. This actually says in the article, it says, quote, Microsoft isn't restricting this new Game Pass plan to just family members, and the only restriction is that people who are added to the Friends and Family plan need to be in the same country. Microsoft is currently Microsoft is currently testing a new Xbox Game Pass Friends and Family plan in Ireland and Colombia with the pricing. I mentioned the pricing already. And that says that works out to be about $5 per month for each person to share the usual Xbox Game Pass Ultimate benefits. I think this is a fantastic thing, dude, but I honestly don't think that there's a lot of people, especially people like me and you, who are really going to get a lot of benefit out of this. I think this is definitely the way for Xbox to go. They're definitely chalking it up to a loss. It's incredible some of the stuff that they're doing over here right now, dude. Like, it really is.
Yeah. No, I definitely think it's great because being able to do something like that for people who don't maybe they don't want to, like I said, mix up their collections and stuff. But I just think it should just be an option, just as something there anyway. Whether people may use it or not, maybe not so much. But I definitely could see some people using it. Now, who knows
Right.
what's going to happen with PlayStation because of this now? But
Right.
we'll have to wait and see.
I mean, Xbox has definitely been the catalyst to get PlayStation button gear. So,
right?
let's move on to the next story. What did you want to do next here? Let's do Halo. Let's do Halo Infinite stuff.
All right.
Another article written by one Tom Warren.
So we have Halo Infinite's co-op and Forge modes are unfortunately delayed until November.
What is going on, 343? Why is this happening?
Oh man, definitely not good. This is from that article from Tom Warren. 343 Industries is delaying the next season of Halo Infinite to March 2023, extending its current season that started in May to 10 months long instead of its original promised 3 months. Damn.
Wow, okay. I want to rant. I want to rant so bad.
Well,
go ahead, sorry.
Oh no, I was just finishing up the article there. While Halo Infinite players are desperate for fresh content, the long-awaited Forge beta has also now been delayed and will launch on November 8th alongside the co-op mode. It was originally planned for September.
I am not happy with these people, dude. Okay, so here's the thing. I've been overly vocal about toxic communities in the gaming industry. Elden Ring, Dark Souls players are particularly bad. Okay? And no, I'm not going to apologize for calling people like this out. If you're one of these toxic players, you need to not be. And if you're not one of these toxic players and you're just part of this community, I feel sorry for you. But you need to be the voice of reason within your community. Like, Dark Souls players are particularly bad. Mass Effect players were particularly bad. Sometimes Elder Scrolls players can be particularly bad. But one thing, and Destiny has been really bad, right? We've actually had stories about Destiny specifically, right? So, like, I've been the one to be like, hey, don't give these developers a shit time for trying to build their game up. Halo Infinite has been one of the biggest shit shows I have ever had the displeasure of seeing released on a console. Like, I've never seen such disregard for a series that needed to be really good, right? Halo Infinite should not be out right now. We need other game types. We need other maps, and like the director of Halo was like, "Oh, well, legacy maps are returning." Why were legacy maps not in there in the first place? Why was Blood Gulch not in there? Why was Beaver Creek not in there? Why was Lockout not in there? Guardian, Lockout, they're the same thing, right? Why was Blackout not in there? Why was Valhalla not in there? Like, these are all games that you've had more than enough time to really see how players react to these maps. And instead you give us 4 maps on release. You've given us 2 extra maps. And from then on, like, it's been nothing. It's been crickets. I'm so sickened with the way that 343 has handled this situation, dude. I'm not happy with this. And they know damn well that they're losing players right now, and it's like, oh well, it's a hard game. It's not really. Follow the formulas that the last Halos have put in place for you. Halo 5 Guardians was a bad Halo. It was not received well, right? And Halo 6 is on a fast track to being quite possibly the worst Halo that's ever been released in the history of Halo ever.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, in order to fix it, here's what you have to do. You have to put more game types in ranked. You have to make sure that doubles is around to stay. You have to make sure that you have playlists like snipers and stuff like that in ranked. And then you have to have a social playlist. And within each of those playlists, you have to have ranks within each of those playlists, just like Halo 3 had. It's not rocket science to fix this dumpster fire. And Halo Infinite wants to play like, oh, well, we don't have the fan base in order to make sure we have that many game types in ranked. Yeah, that's because you guys fucked it off with Halo 5. You drove people away. And man, they need to get it right. They need to get it right, Cody. Like, for sure, dude.
Well,
like,
this is definitely the second or third time that I've heard this Forge being delayed. Like, come on, dude. Like, I would much rather the game be delayed and it be fixed and ready than just release it in a quote playable state just to appease people.
Right, exactly. Like, draw the beta out. Like, you could have done a lot here. Go ahead, continue the article, sorry.
No, you're good. So, Forge was originally planned for September, and it will allow Halo Infinite players to edit multiplayer levels and brand new maps to share with fellow players. It was hugely popular in the previous Halo games, and leaks have shown Forge in Halo Infinite looks like it will be a lot of fun for players. 343 Industries is launching 2 new multiplayer maps alongside Forge on November 8th, and they're both built using the Forge editor. Quote, Halo, this is from the Halo leaker. Halo's Infinite Forge has huge potential to be amazing. Just look for it at live fire turned into in full forest. That's just a Twitter post.
I mean, that's kind of interesting. That does actually have me interested a little bit. I will say that.
Yeah. The campaign co-op and mission replay will also be available on November 8th, after a delay for a quote late August target. So you can't even see the replay of your missions.
Yeah, dude.
343 Industries is sadly scrapping plans for a local split-screen co-op, quote, in order to accelerate ongoing live service development, and to better address player feedback and quality of life updates. And we have reallocated studio resources and no longer working on local campaign split-screen co-op.
What a terrible statement to make regarding this. They're essentially saying, look, local co-op doesn't fit our vision for an online games as a service game. So we're not going to do it. That's essentially what they're saying. Like, that is not a good statement to be. That is not a good stance to be taking. That is not a good stance. I just want to. I'm kind of done with this story, dude.
Yeah.
Let's just move on.
I agree. Go ahead and just move on here. So, let's see. Do you want to do the God of War one?
Oh yeah, let's talk about God of War. Let's scrap the Assassin's Creed Mirage one because I don't care about that. So
that's mostly what it was. Was just Assassin's Creed Mirage was just officially given the name.
So we have 2 more stories here, guys. We have God of War Ragnarok gameplay, and then leaks suggest Nintendo Direct is around the corner. Let's get into the God of War 1 chubs. This is asking me to accept cookies, so I'm actually going to ignore this. You just go ahead and talk.
Yeah. So this is from IGN. God of War Ragnarok gameplay footage shows off new weapons and abilities. So this is pretty friggin' cool. Finally get to see Kratos using his axe for doing a lot of cool different things. It says that the God of War gameplay shown here shows off some combat features for the very first time. Lead combat designer, forgive me for saying this name, Mirror Seth Shet, I think is how
All
you say it,
right.
recently
Hard
told
name.
publication that one of Santa Monica Studios' internal uh, philosophies is the idea that Kratos plays with his food.
I like this statement so much.
He
Um,
explained, "We try to create systems that you want to engage with that are fun, very playful, and lots of different routes. And when you looked at the combat in the last game, we were like, we can push this further. We can find new toys and ways of playing with enemies and strategies. That's been the guiding principles more than anything."
they mean this both metaphorically and physically, guys. Like they mean this
Yeah.
like there's going to be a cooking system in the game. They've already confirmed,
That's gonna be
and
hilarious.
there's going to be an actual like playing with your enemy system, like kind of toying with them, right? So like honestly, I cannot wait for this game, dude. And I'm like, I've heard a bunch of people talk like on Giant Bombcast and all that, and that are like, oh well, what if this is just like more 2018 God of War? What if this is just more of the same thing that we got back in 2018? Great,
Well,
fantastic.
what?
That's exactly what I
Well,
want. Like if it's more of what we got in 2018, and like the boss fights are cooler, and like I have more versatility and like moving around and fighting. Great, fantastic. Like,
like, what do they want this to be? Dark Souls?
yeah, like Dark Souls, like that looks incredible. Like, yes, we have a sense of scale in God of War, and we had that sense of scale nailed down pretty much by the end of the game. But at that point, I don't care about sense of scale. I want good boss fights. I want solid gameplay. Yeah, a giant troll or a giant snake would be cool to fight. You know what I mean? Somewhere down the line, like there's a really cool boss fight at the end of God of War, which is just like sick as hell. But it's just like, well, sick as fuck. I'll actually like sick as fuck. That's a better statement. But anyway, like that like no spoilers, but like I don't care about scale. I just want cool boss fights, great gameplay. Like what can you give me that makes this game fun? Like that's what I want. You know what I mean? And if these new systems are gonna do it, I'm game. Like I'm game. I know you start out with the axe and the gauntlets, the blades of chaos.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
or chaos blades, whatever. Did you play the original God of War?
Oh yeah, dude. I've played the original God of War time and time again.
I
I
mean,
played
the
the second one too.
2018 God of War.
No, that's another game that I need to play.
Yeah, I would recommend playing that, dude, before Ragnarok comes out because I'm gonna talk about Ragnarok.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I'm
definitely need to
excited
play
as shit for that game. Like, that will definitely be on my Game of the Year conversations, unless they just muff it up entirely, you know. But I don't think it's possible at this point. I really don't. Like, I actually want to. I want to go play that game again, just talking about it. It might be the perfect game. Let's get into our very last news story. Nintendo Direct story here. It says, leaks suggest Nintendo Direct could be a Zelda blowout. This is an article written written on Kotaku. This was written by David Smith. It says, we've once again reached a point in Nintendo Direct cycle where everyone starts to get itchy for the new announcements. Luckily for those folks, it seems that the next Nintendo Direct could be a proper banger if reports are to be believed, end quote. It says, quote, according to the serial leaker Jeff Grubb, which is actually somebody who's on the Kind of Funny Gamecast, which is fantastic, by the way. He's actually on Bombcast, too. They actually all work for IGN. Anyway, The Game Mess podcast. Nintendo plans to announce a pair of Zelda remasters headed to the Switch. The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD and The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD were both released on the Wii U during its lifetime. Nintendo's propensity for porting the Wii U's better exclusive to the Switch for a second bite at the apple is well founded. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has been paying off in the 90 or off for 90 for the better part of a decade. So porting two of the more well-known Zelda remasters would make a lot of sense. So basically they're saying Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD would be coming to the Switch. I'm completely all for that. I would love to see those remasters, personally. Wind Waker was fantastic. Twilight Princess, equally fantastic. I didn't beat either one of them. I just played small portions of them. So, like, I am the market for this game.
Yeah. Dude, that's exciting. If they release something like that, that is going to make Zelda fans extremely, extremely happy.
Well, and in addition to that, like, it actually brings more of the story, especially for, like, Zelda, to the Switch. Like, I want to have a system to where if I want to play a Zelda game, I can go do that. You know what I mean? They got the Legend of Zelda on the NES emulator on there. You know what I mean? Like, just run that out for the SNES emulator and then just move forward with that. Like N64, you know, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, get up into the GameCube era, and those are the games that you can start releasing as remasters. Like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD, fantastic options for remasters, dude. I would love to play either of these. I really don't know. Like, that's like kind of a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
So.
I mean, shoot, with all of the different HD games that are coming out, you know, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, no shit.
It's happening on, what, the 12th of November?
This is slated for... Well, it's all rumors right now, right?
Yeah. And Metroid Prime is celebrating its 20th anniversary in November, so...
I was just reading that too, so I would love to see something like a Metroid Prime HD collection, you know what I mean? This is supposed to be a first-party direct. This is where we'll see things like Metroid Prime and like The Legend of Zelda, you know, a new Mario game, a new Donkey Kong game, stuff like that.
Yep.
We have to do predictions for this before next week. So, so that's going to do it for this episode, guys. That is it for the news. Definitely, like I said, please be sure to follow those pages that I mentioned, twitch.com/brokencontrollers, youtube.com, just search BTG Inferno. The video will be up there a little bit later tomorrow. I got to do some editing, then I'll throw it up there. And then also on Facebook, you can search Broken Controllers. That's also a webpage that you can follow to get all of our news. And then also on Twitter, if you follow Broken Controllers, at Broken Controllers on Twitter, then we can get news to you out that way as well. Chubbs, closing thoughts for episode 3, season 3, episode 3 of Broken Controllers.
Well, man, I'm just excited for this Nintendo, this first-party direct. So we're going to see what exactly comes of that, because with all these, with the Metroid Prime, I definitely would love to play like an HD remake on the Nintendo GameCube.
Oh, heck yeah.
So that would be pretty neat, or something along those lines. You know, maybe something a little bit more with like, and we'll get into predictions about this later, but it would be kind of, you know, to see what exactly they're going to bring to that.
Right, what they're going to bring to the table. I second that. That's my closing statement for the podcast as well. You know, I'm really excited for the direct as well. Ragnarok is definitely going to be in our Game of the Year conversations, so be sure to keep an eye on that. I don't know if I'm going to actually stream it, but I will definitely be talking about it, so just be prepared to hear more about that, guys. But that's going to do it for episode 3, season 3, episode 3 of Broken Controllers. We appreciate you guys showing up. Catch you later, guys. Peace.
Peace.